Hello, and welcome to today's episode of The Ways of the World, where we focus upon a different country and culture and discover the different ways of the world. I'm your host, Ava Petrosky. Today, we are breaching the Villanova community and expanding to our local Radnor High School to talk about Iceland. I'm here to welcome Ella Starzik, a rising junior at Radnor High, to talk about her recent summer vacation in Iceland. Ella, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Ava.
Okay, let's talk about Iceland. Where specifically did you travel to?
So I stayed in 3 places. We stayed mostly in the south of Iceland. So we stayed in Selfoss, we stayed in Kirkjubojar Kloster, and we also stayed in Reykjavik, the main city.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So was that the order that you...
Yes, it was.
Okay,
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your itinerary.
Yeah, okay. So the first day, we kind of just took it a little easy. We went to Baka Baka in Reykjavik. We stopped there along the way to Selfoss, and it had some of the most amazing bread I've ever had. It was thermal bread, so there's so many hot spots because Iceland's so active with the volcanoes. So you can put bread in the ground and it just cooks by itself. So we tried some bread at Baka Baka, and we walked around Reykjavik and we saw all of the little flea markets there. And there were so many cute sweaters, the Icelandic sweaters. And that's kind of what we did the first day.
So is the bread, is that something that they let the tourists do, or is that something that you watch the chefs cook? How does that work?
I mean, we kind of just ordered it, and they told us a little bit about it, but you can also do thermal bread experiences, but they get really booked really fast, so we weren't able to do it, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of bread would you say it was? More like a sourdough?
I think it was a sourdough. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And then what do you put on the bread?
Mostly just Icelandic salt.
Okay, yes, let's talk about, you brought a prop.
Yes.
I love it. What did you bring here?
So Icelandic salt is very different, I would say, than salt in the Americas. But it's delicious. So I'm pretty sure it's made from volcanic ash, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's why it's black. But they kind of put in everything like butter, bread. So it's delicious.
Yeah. Icelandic salt, black lava.
Yeah.
So, wow. That is really cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so you started in Baka Baka. Let's
Yes.
talk about Reykjavik a little bit.
So Reykjavik, we just ate there mostly, and we walked around, and I got a really cute puffin sweater there. It's really, really thick, so I can't wear it in the summer, obviously, but it has puffins, and it's a dark purple, and it's really beautiful.
Cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So I know that you said that they sell a lot of beautiful Icelandic sweaters. What was the weather over there? Because you did go in the summer,
Yes.
but it's very far north.
Yes. So I think we went in the rainy season. I think June is the rainy season, so it was raining constantly, like all throughout the day, every day. But the weather was good itself. It was like 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so not bad.
So you wore just kind of sweaters, jeans.
Yeah, sweaters, jeans, a lot of weatherproof gear.
And then after that, what was your itinerary?
Then we went to the town of Selfoss.
Okay.
So we just stayed there the night, and we kind of just picked up food from the grocery store. Didn't really do much. And then the next day we went to the Golden Circle, which is a very world famous route. It's a scenic route, and that's where the Thingvellir National Park is. So that's where the tectonic plates of North America and Eurasia meet.
Wow.
So you can kind of walk between those,
Yeah.
and it's amazing.
So you're kind of hopping between North America and Eurasia.
Yeah. You
That
can have
is
one
so
foot
cool.
in the other.
That's cool. Did
Yeah.
you do that?
We did, yes.
Did you take a picture being in 2 continents at once?
We took a picture in the ridge itself,
Okay.
but we didn't really.
Who did you travel with?
I traveled with my mother, brother, and father.
Why did you guys decide to go to Iceland?
So Iceland's been on our bucket list for a while. We love to hike. We used to live in Colorado. We just love to look at all the scenery. And Iceland is kind of known for its scenery and hiking as well. So my father loved it, and we just added it to our bucket list.
Have you been out of the country before?
Yes, I have. I've been to Italy, Mexico, Paris, France, and now Iceland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any future travel plans?
I think We want to go to Spain.
How do you think Iceland compares to some of the other countries that you have been to before?
I would say it's very different because Mexico is sort of tropical, and obviously Iceland isn't. I would say Iceland is one of my top places that I've traveled, up there with Italy, probably. Just because I also love art, and Italy has a lot of art. But yeah, I would say it's one of my top.
What was some of your favorite things to do in Iceland?
Just hiking, mostly. Honestly, driving. As boring as that sounds, you kind of just drive along the ring road, which is their version of a highway there. And you see so many beautiful waterfalls along the way, and the black sand beaches. And you also see a bunch of wild Icelandic horses just roaming around on the side of the highway, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the scenery is just beautiful.
It's beautiful.
When you traveled from city to city, you drove?
We rented a car.
Okay.
Yes.
Did they drive on the left side or the right side of the road?
The right side.
Okay.
They used to drive on the left side, but they instated a law in the 1980s.
Okay.
And now it's the right side.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you have a favorite memory from your trip?
I would say probably the puffin tour that we took when we went to the Westman Islands, because that's kind of where the last remaining puffins are. We just traveled there for the day, and we took a tour with Ija Tours, and we had an amazing tour guide named Epi, that's his nickname. And we kind of just saw all the puffins and the scenery of the Westman Islands. There's a lot of golf courses and just a lot of bird watching there.
When you say puffin tour, you literally were able to just observe puffins everywhere.
We kind of toured the entirety of the Westman Islands, but we were also able to look at the puffins for a while.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
When you traveled from city to city, how far were they in distance to each other?
They were pretty far. I would say 4 hours each.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of time on the roads.
A lot of time on the roads. A lot of time with my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go on the black sand beaches?
We were able to go on the Black Diamond Beach.
Okay.
That's kind of the only black sand beach that's open to tourists, because a lot of tourists, I think, try to take the black sand back home.
Okay.
So a lot of them are national parks.
Okay.
But we were able to go on to the Black Diamond Beach, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the black sand, is that from volcanic ash? Okay.
Yes.
So it's just sand that has over time just turned black because of the ash. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So what are some must-see landmarks that if you were to go back to Iceland or someone else were to go to Iceland, you would say, okay, you have to go here?
I would say the Skogafoss waterfall. That was probably one of my favorite memories from the entire trip. So you climb up. It's quite a hike, but you just climb up a set of stairs, and you're at the top of the waterfall, and you're just looking down onto kind of the world of Iceland almost.
Wow.
And then you get a hike along the waterfall too, because it goes back really far. So it's like a 40-minute hike, I'd say, in total.
Okay.
And you just kind of get to enjoy nature a little.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. How many miles total do you think that you hiked? I'm sure your steps were surpassing 10,000 a day.
Yes, definitely. In total for the trip, I would say maybe 50 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was do you have like your step count per day? I'm curious.
I think it varied by day.
Yeah.
One of the days we kind of just rested
Okay.
at home because it was pouring rain. But I would say we averaged like 6,000 to 10,000 steps a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where did you stay? Did you have a house that you stayed in? Did you stay in a hotel?
So in Selfoss and Kirkjubayar, Cluster, we stayed in Verbos.
Okay.
So we were able to kind of have our own rooms and our own spaces, so it was very nice, especially because they had blackout curtains there, since the sun doesn't really set in Iceland. So we kind of had to have like intense blackout curtains to
Wow.
sleep. And then in Reykjavik, we stayed at a hotel kind of near the airport and near the Blue Lagoon. And they didn't really have that great of blackout curtains.
So when you say the sun doesn't set, is it daylight for 24 hours? Does it depend on the season for that?
I think it's pretty much all year round. It sets for, I think, 2 hours in the morning.
Wow.
At 2 a.m., I think it sets.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then up at 4.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you able to talk with any of the locals about how they live in Iceland?
We weren't able to communicate with them, but we did visit a few community pools. So that's kind of a big thing in Iceland. All along the ring road, they had signs for pools. So it's just a little man on a sign, and it kind of indicates that there's a community pool coming up. So all of the locals, kind of after their day of work, they go to these community pools and they just talk to each other. So there's pools and hot tubs that are all heated by geothermal power.
Okay.
Yeah, so we weren't able to communicate with them, but we kind of were in their presence a little.
Yeah. Are they like natural pools?
I mean, they're heated by natural resources, but they're not natural, they're man-made.
How did you get by this language barrier? Because they speak Icelandic.
Yes, so like I said, a lot of the locals don't really speak English, but in restaurants and like tourist locations, they do speak English because it's such a common language.
Yeah. And how about driving and seeing road signs and navigating through that?
We kind of had to rely on Google Maps.
Okay.
A lot, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was the capital very touristy, did you find?
I would say so, yeah. There's, like in every single street, there's like dozens of shops.
Okay.
So there's a lot of puffin shops, just catered to puffin souvenirs.
Okay.
But that's pretty much it for the tourist stuff. The town Kirk Ubayar Clouster, it didn't really have a lot of people.
Okay.
I think it was a town of maybe 5,000 people.
Wow.
So it was pretty small.
I want to know a little bit more about the cuisine. What were some traditional Icelandic dishes? What were you eating?
A lot of people think that it's seafood is kind of the main thing, but at least in my case, I didn't really see a lot of seafood on the menus. There was usually one catch of the day, which my parents enjoyed a lot. They love seafood, so they loved the fish there. But I think lamb was more a lot common. It's in all the hot dogs too.
Really?
So we went to this very famous hot dog stand called Bayarins Bestu Pilser. And I think it gained a lot of popularity on YouTube, the platform.
Okay.
As well as Bill Clinton visited it too.
Okay.
And so these hot dogs are made of lamb, beef, and pork. So they kind of have a very unique taste to them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So other than these hot dogs, what else were you eating throughout your trip?
I had a lot of like bread and butter with the Icelandic salt, which was delicious. Also, they have a lot of meats. So I had a lot of cheeseburgers, I found, in almost every restaurant.
What was your flight pattern to get to Iceland? Did you have a direct flight? Did you have any layovers?
So we took a direct flight from JFK.
Okay.
Because Philly doesn't really have a lot of direct flights, and JFK has so many.
Right.
Yeah.
So direct flight, JFK to and from.
Yes.
Okay. How long was your flight?
5 hours, maybe?
Okay.
It wasn't that bad at all, actually.
Okay. That's not that bad.
No.
That's not that bad. Can you describe Iceland for me in 3 words?
That's hard. Okay. I would say majestic would be one of them.
Okay.
I would say expensive would be another.
Okay.
And my third would probably just be breathtaking.
I like the word majestic.
Yeah.
Why'd you choose that one?
I mean, I keep going back to the scenery and the waterfalls, but it was just, I don't think I can put it in words how beautiful it was. I mean, like, this is truly a bucket list destination.
Yeah.
And you've never really seen anything like it before, I don't think. There's nowhere else on earth where you can experience this magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, this magic. And breathtaking, similar.
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know we talked about you saw some wild horses, you saw the puffins. Did you see any other wildlife during your travels?
So when we went to our day trip on the Westman Islands, we also went to a beluga whale sanctuary.
Okay.
So they kind of had all of these beautiful whales. There were 3 of them, I believe. And they were trying to be revived to go out and experience nature again because they came from a zoo in China and didn't really have the best experience in captivity.
Okay.
And so they're trying to prepare them for the wild in Iceland.
Now, I know you said that one day you kind of just hung out in the house because it was pouring outside.
Yeah.
What'd you do when you were just hanging out?
So we were in our VRBO then, and we played chess most of the day, and
that's
we
fun.
also toured a local museum in Iceland. So they have a bunch of local museums dedicated to national parks in Iceland. So we toured a few.
What's some of the things that you saw in the museum?
We learned a lot about volcanoes, just because there's so many active and dormant volcanoes in Iceland. So we just kind of learned about the process that happens behind volcanoes.
Amazing. Was there any part of Iceland that really surprised you once you got there?
I would say I shouldn't have been so surprised, but the prices of everything, just because it's an island. So all of the commodities and goods and food were so expensive. And I also learned that Iceland isn't very fertile. So besides it being extremely green and lush there, you can't really grow vegetables or fruits anywhere at all along the island.
And they have to import everything.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you could redo any aspect of your trip to Iceland, would you do anything differently? And if so, why?
I would say I would probably have tried to immerse myself in local culture a little bit more. Just visiting some local markets.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of local flea markets, and we only really went to one, the main one in Reykjavik. It's kind of on the main street. But there are a lot of other local markets, and you can try shark, and you can kind of immerse yourself in the culture a little more.
Did any of you guys try shark?
No.
No.
We saw a lot of reviews saying it's a very acquired taste.
If you could write a book about your travels through Iceland, what would you title it and why?
Okay, I think I would probably start with sights of beauty.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
And that's, again, that goes back to your 3 words.
Yeah.
Majestic, breathtaking.
Yeah.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, if you could make a movie, what are some snapshots, landmarks, what have you, that you would put in your trailer?
So when we went to the Western Islands again, we learned about this tradition where children, they, from a very young age, about 10 or 11, they have to learn how to collect eggs, not from puffins, but from other birds. And they essentially swing from cliff sides with a rope.
Wow.
That's it. They just are swinging from a rope, and they have to collect the eggs and bring them back to the town of the Western Islands. So I feel like that is definitely a cool part that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah. Did you see that happening?
Not with younger kids. Our tour guide, even though he was about 40, he was moving agilely across.
Oh, he was swinging around?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did you do that or no?
No.
Okay. Did they let tourists do that, or is that more for the locals?
They let my brother do it on a smaller cliffside.
Okay. Oh, so your brother did it?
Yeah, he did.
Did he like it?
He wasn't very good at it.
Okay.
But they go to the top of the cliff, and they put like just one long rope. And they aren't harnessed in to anything. So they're just holding onto the rope.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of like crevices in the cliff that you can put your feet in, kind of like rock climbing.
Okay.
And so you can swing from the crevices.
Got it.
And that's how you collect it.
How far apart are these crevices?
They're pretty close together, I'd say.
Okay.
They're like little steps.
What are some of the birds besides puffins that reside in Iceland?
I mean, I don't really know a lot of the birds. They had very long names.
Okay.
But the puffins are the national bird of Iceland, so that's kind of really all I know.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Puffins are really cute.
They are so cute.
They're adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would have the swinging to collect the eggs in your trailer. That's really cool. Would you put anything else?
I would say we went on a glacier tour.
That's cool.
As well. So we went on a small little Zodiac boat, and you just go. We went on this glacier lake called Sorlan. So it was just, I think it's probably the most popular glacier lake, but you kind of just go around the glacier lake and you kind of just see all of the little glaciers along the way, and it's beautiful. And I think that's one of the key landmarks of Iceland.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What else can you tell me about the culture of Iceland?
I would say everyone is very comfortable with each other. So everyone is kind of like the community is very knit tight. So everyone's very bonded with each other and they're all just socializing with each other all the time. And it was kind of fun to see when we went to the community pools, everyone was just making conversation with each other all around, which you don't really see a lot anywhere else. A lot of people just keep to themselves when they go swimming or in hot tubs. But I think these people, like the locals of Iceland, look forward to going to these community pools every day.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see that.
Yeah. Do you know what their work day looks like? Like what time of day that they would work and then go to the community pools after?
I'm not sure what time they start, but I think they end around 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of similar to like a 9 to 5-ish
Yeah.
that we would have here.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. What would you say was the biggest difference between the lifestyle in Iceland versus the lifestyle here in America?
Not only diet. Diet was a big thing. We have a lot of processed foods in America.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing. But just because the island is so much smaller, like again, they didn't have a lot of schools there. They only really had one school per city. And I think that's a very big change.
Do you think that that's maybe population?
I think it is mostly population.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
If you could pinpoint one picture that you took that's your favorite or most memorable picture, can you describe it for me?
Okay. There's one picture that I took of this waterfall called Seljalandsfoss. And this was a different one than Skogafoss. This one is, I'm pretty sure, the biggest waterfall on the southern side of Iceland. And it's also the most touristy. But there's this one picturesque spot where so many people line up and you have to grab a rope and you have to kind of like climb out onto the rock to take a picture. Just because the waterfall is so powerful that you get soaking wet.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to hold the rock so you don't slip on the wet rock. And I would say that's probably one of my most memorable pictures. I took a picture of the waterfall and it was just majestic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Majestic again. I love it. I love it. Is there anything else about Iceland that you're just dying to tell me that I haven't asked you?
I would say the Blue Lagoon.
Okay.
So honestly, I thought it was a great spot, obviously. A lot of tourists. It was almost all Americans. But I would say I did enjoy the community pools better. And I would say the Blue Lagoon, yes. I mean, if you really want like a relaxing vacation, then add it to your bucket list when you go to Iceland.
Yeah.
But if you really want to become engrossed in the culture, I would say definitely add the community pools instead of the Blue Lagoon to your bucket list.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I would never know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Ella, my last question for you to wrap up is, what advice would you give to people who are going to travel to Iceland?
I would say try as many new things as you can. I feel like that's the case when you're traveling anywhere though. You just want to try and see new things because you can't experience that at home.
Yeah.
So just be open to things. Even if it's pouring rain, you're probably going to see some of the most beautiful nature you've ever seen.
Yeah.
So just go out and have fun.
What were some of these new things that you tried that you're really grateful that you did?
I would say probably climbing behind a waterfall.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that ever before. I haven't really been to a lot of waterfalls, so it was kind of a new experience for me, definitely. And I would also say another experience would be bird watching.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, actually.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Ella, thank you so much for coming and sharing your travels in Iceland. It sounds like you had an absolutely incredible trip.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining me today. I'm your host, Ava Petrosky. Stay tuned for a new location next time.